Hello everybody, welcome to Red Sky City Cyberpunk Conspiracy. I'm Tormented by Gnomes, I'll be your game master today. Joining me is my illustrious cast. We've got, okay, I'm not missing anyone this time, and in order, we've got Bren, Golden Boy, Seltzer, Sideshow. Welcome everyone, glad to have you back.
Glad to be back. I'm
Hello.
glad that I am personally glad that nobody died in our previous episode. That brings me a lot of joy.
Don't speak so fast, okay? How about
It
that?
is the week of Thanksgiving, and we do have a lot to be thankful for, and that our party is alive.
Yeah.
And I'd like to approach this episode with just thanks in our heart and a lack of blame or guilt on anybody for actions that have been perceived or occurred in the past, and just with a mind towards the future.
This won't have anything to do with the fact that you're like losing a poll right now, right?
No. I don't even know what poll you mean.
Yeah,
Sure.
what poll is he talking about, Ian? If you could help us out with that one. I'm not exactly sure what
It's got the graphics.
what he's that
Dios.
one right there. There it is.
Ay Dios. That's just not good.
I don't
It
think.
was-
Okay. The chat is saying it's my fault.
Yeah, it was. Bren paid people to vote in this Twitter poll. That's the only
I didn't.
reason
I just
that
didn't.
I won it.
Thanks for the $5, bud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You counted all the legal
okay.
votes.
I like to think that I can empathize with most people, that I can put myself in their positioning, but I cannot. I just can't fathom why you would assume that this is my fault.
Why did you jump off a rooftop to tackle the person that has a katana?
I didn't know she had a katana.
Yeah, you did. You saw it on her back, and she had a flamethrower, which you knew that she had. She had two
Okay,
close range weapons.
The intention was to not let her escape.
Which
Right?
you can do by using a gun and shooting her.
No, it's not like that's actually got a chance to fail, because like if I'm taking an aim shot at a tire, right, to disable a
You
vehicle.
had a chance to die.
Well, I actually just assumed that you guys would get there, and while I was grappling her, we would kill her. But instead, it just went to shit.
I mean, that did happen.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I got there.
I killed her.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were
Pretty
you
sure
the
I
final
did.
blow?
Yeah, it was the final blow. I killed two people this previous game.
What I would like to
including
know
her.
is why is it that a person can get shot multiple times and still like manage to walk away? That's a question for our game master.
Well, bro, I
You
took
know?
a grenade and I'm still living. Just don't think about it. Don't even ask the question.
Armor in the future is quite good. It's quite good. In a lot of game systems, hit points are an abstract system where it doesn't actually represent like meat points getting physically hit. It's why in Dungeons and Dragons, somebody can hit you with an axe 10 times, and it's only on the 10th hit that you're in trouble. Not everyone's Boromir in Lord of the Rings, tanking tons and tons of arrows. In most systems, hit points is an abstraction. The example I always like to give is the fight at the end of Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1, where they're, blocking and dodging and jumping and stuff. And in game terms, a lot of those attacks were actually hits. But in narrative terms, you barely block it. You dodge out of the way, but your luck is running down, right? In any fight scene, eventually someone's going to take a hit. And it's only once you start actually running out of hit points that you actually get hit. In Cyberpunk, it's a little bit more meaty, but I usually assume that either science saved you, your incredible armor, or it was a glancing blow or something like that. And that's why you can shoot the crap out of people.
That was an awesome answer to Alex's question. Can you do lightsaber sounds again?
Yeah. There you
You
go.
are very good, Joseph.
Yeah.
I like that less.
Although you did reference Phantom Menace though, which is problematic.
Look, the fight scenes in that were good. If nothing else, I think we can all agree that the fight choreography was interesting in that one.
Yeah, that's
I agree.
fair. I'll give it to you. That's all I'm
You're
giving
already
you, though.
bringing our team back together, Joseph. Thank you.
I
I don't care. I have no skin in the game, so sure, the Phantom Menace fight scenes were fantastic.
Yay! All right, so when last we left our heroes, you were at the Mendrone compound, and you had just finished a brutal, bloody battle against Babylon and the Red Chrome Legion. You massacred a bunch of them, stole several of their motorbikes, and Babylon almost blew you all up. She was so determined not to be taken captive. When they rolled up, they wanted all of Oro's belongings. They wanted a chance to go through his room, take everything that belonged to him. That's what they were threatening you with. And regardless of the question of whose fault is what, you did successfully bring them down. And you do have it's up to you now what you decide to do. Your vehicle is damaged. You're all pretty injured. And there's a car heist that you're on the hook for in 3 days.
3 days?
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
What a bad deal that was.
We didn't think you didn't think we were going to do season 2, did you?
I mean, I mean,
I didn't think it had a time commitment.
It definitely had a time commitment, yeah. I remember thinking at the time, wow, that really isn't much turnaround from us solving this conspiracy to going on a car heist. But I thought, hey, we'll figure it out when we get to it. That's a future Jim Fingers problem.
Yeah.
Now, Jerax is grievously injured, but you do have access to your cryo tanks, which are in the bunker, which you're planning on using as your sort of base. So if you can get back down to the bunker, you have a couple of days. There's also emergency medical supplies, including antibiotics, that will accelerate your rate of healing. So if you can take 3 days of cryo sleep, you'll be in much, much better shape than you currently are.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to not be in much better shape, I think, on one health. But I will say as well, since the beginning of Red Sky City as a series, I have never been at full HP.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I have perpetually been injured.
That seems to indicate, though, that you are frontlining too much as the doctor. You are a doctor.
No, I take intelligent actions and I kick ass.
No, you've been trying to strangle people to death who have guns and katanas the entire time.
You gotta get your hands dirty, Josh. Sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty. I need a couple of days in the cryo tube. You guys have got the heist. I'm just gonna be AFK this episode. That's okay? We're good?
Wait, you want us to do the heist without you?
I want to be full health.
Well, yeah, but we can do the heist in 3 days' time.
I'll give.
How portable is the cryo tube?
Not.
Oh. It would have been fun to bring you.
All right, you set him up on the hill, and he can supervise.
That actually would be amazing. We could just set Brent up in a cryo tube and then just have him chase us around. He could be like our own little version of the child. You know,
put like a wagon on the back of the car, like.
Yeah. Like I was thinking, like a trolley. You know, just like one of those things you use to move a refrigerator. We can replace his image in this one with just him in carbonite.
Yeah,
on the interface.
Well, I think the first protocol while we're here is to check out Oro's stuff, right? To actually investigate the stuff that they were interested in, because it might be interesting for us as well. I mean, obviously, we should help Jerax. We should get him to safety, yada, yada. But one of us can drive him back to the bunker while the other two loot the place. Well, I use loot in the most reasonable terms possible. I don't mean loot like pillage, but, you know,
I would
go and have
like
a dig
you
around.
not to pillage my family.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I had no intention of doing so. But I mean, like, a bit of light looting. Like, we just kind of here and there, and we pop open a chest, and we're like, oh, look at that, and we'll just take some of that for later. Your parents don't seem to really need it. He's dead. I mean...
Yeah, no,
I'm greater
I'm
good,
fine.
Monarch.
No, look, you guys do what you need to do. It's perfectly fine. I got to find whatever the hell they were looking for my brother, that little shit. So I just have to figure that out. And then, we just go from there.
Okay.
All right.
I'll drive Jerax back to the bunker then, if you and Natalie want to go and investigate what's happening with Oro's stuff.
I'd rather stick around with the better driver of the group anyway. So
I assume that Jerax can still hold on to being on the back of a motorcycle, because that's how I got here, and that's how you're coming back.
I'm unconscious.
Oh, you're unconscious?
Yeah. He's very unconscious.
I will hand you my car keys. After, it's a lot of, reluctant, thought looking at my car, but then realizing, it can't get much worse, and you may drive him.
Well, I'll give you my motorcycle keys, though, but I'm going to impress on you the importance that you bring my motorcycle back and not one of the ones that we
How are you
going to
get these three? I mean, I'm unconscious. Ignore me.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to... I wasn't anticipating on taking all three, but I'm...
Well, no, I mean, let's hitch... Can we hitch one of the bikes onto the car?
A smart car?
Yeah.
a hitch on like a 2-person commuter vehicle that's shaped like a
Can
bubble.
we place it on top and use some like flex tape to hold it?
Could do that too.
I'm
My
just
car is busted.
Aren't there
Yeah.
nomads nearby?
There are.
Yeah,
There
count like we.
Central
They must know
Domingos.
mechanics, right? Like, I'm.
You're
wait.
unconscious. We need to get you back to the bunker ASAP.
Jim,
I would not be fucking around going.
Why are you contacting people to bring this back?
Yeah. Why?
Oh,
Oh
don't-
yeah. I could bring up some people that can just drive the bikes back to our place. I mean, hell, we could get random people to do that.
Aren't they almost dead?
Isn't who almost dead?
The bikes.
Well, me, but
so
also the bikes.
looking, yeah. I mean, well, yeah. Also, so I was taking a look at it, and there are 4 bikes on the field. One of them is Jim's, so I'm just gonna put this one over here. And then one of them is down to literally 1 point of structural left. One of them is actually fully functional. You just got rid of the drivers. And then there's the one that Babylon was on, which is taken a little bit of damage. So you've looted. You're coming out ahead of this. 3 bikes ahead. One of them is just absolutely almost.
What about the 2
parts.
bikes in the north from the guys that I clotheslined?
I think this is all of them moved together because there were 5 bikes and 2 of them escaped.
All right.
This
Well,
is
I'm gonna
gonna
take
be
a
dry.
bike because I'm awesome.
You know how to drive?
I mean, we don't need more than 1 vehicle per person.
Well, it's not like
anyway, so-
I'm doing like dangerous things, right? Like I'm just taking a motorcycle from point A to point B, right, Joe? Like there, you don't need to have a driver's
A license?
Well, I don't have one anyway,
Skills?
but you don't need to have the driver's skill,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
really?
Babylon's bike better?
Yeah, Babylon's bike is a little better. It's a little faster.
I'm just gonna take the one that's healthy so that I don't blow up. Okay, but you know what, crazy Natalie, if you want, that's what I'm calling you now. Okay,
Crazy Natalie?
'Cause don't think I didn't see you swing behind me like a crazy person, and then attempt to like Fast and Furious this thing. That was a movie back in the day, starring a man named Din Diesel, I believe was his name.
Oh, you're thinking of
And-
the Furious and the Fast, actually.
I love that your
Ah.
boomer stories in the year 2045 are just like old man telling me about Fast and Furious.
I really, I really liked the old the stories, the cinema of old.
Charlie
I was,
Chaplin was a genius.
Classic
No,
movies.
I'm more referencing like the acting ability of Vin Diesel and the
Do I have to sit here and listen to this unconscious? Can you just take me to the tube, please?
Somehow
Hey, shut up.
it's getting through
You're-
his like.
You're unconscious, okay? So shut the hell up.
He's having
Anyway.
horrible coma dreams. of
Take
Vin
me
Diesel.
to the tube, please.
Just shoot him right now.
I
you
did
know what's
promise
crazy?
Jim.
I have the
We would
power
get
to
his
end
pick.
this right here. I have the power to end
To
it.
end what?
You
Yeah, I'm 1 health, mate. Somebody could sneeze on me and I die.
for shoving me inside of that crowd tube.
You shot me in the.
Well, now you get to return the favor.
Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to do that.
Shot me in the
Wouldn't be-
face.
Just
you
know
shot me
though
in
that
the
I
face.
yeah, just know that I have the control. Okay. Let's start making our way inside of the house.
All right.
That's what I'm going to do.
Going through, did Oro keep a lot of his stuff here? Like, I don't imagine he probably would have kept much stuff here. You guys didn't grow up here. He had his own apartment. And I know what it is that they were looking for. But aside from that, what else, Alex, would be here that would belong to Oro? Does he still have a room? What do you think?
No, this was more of a house for Sergio, who isn't here,
Mhm.
and our parents. But obviously, like all kids, we leave a few effects back in our family, like storage area.
Mhm.
I still do that to this day. So, that's just and basically that's it. Like, they keep they have like a room where all of our stuff is, like things that they keep as we were kids, and like whatever pictures that they may have, or things of that capacity.
Okay. And so as you're going through this stuff, give me some examples of what crap might be lying around. And Natalie, feel free to, you're here as well picking through things. So if you find anything interesting, feel free to mess with it.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, you gotta Got a book here. Is that book that my mom was trying to show you? Where
Well,
I was naked.
yeah, but you're
Just-
6. No one
Yeah,
wore
but it
clothes
was-
when they were 6.
Speak for yourself. Okay. I
flipped to the
was-
page. It's just pages of you like a naked baby, like doing a rain dance, eating ravioli out of a bowl. Like,
I had no control. Okay. Sometimes they would want me to be naked so that this way it'd be cuter. Okay. I don't need
it's objectively cute, Monarch. You're a very cute.
How
baby.
is it objectively cute, Natalie? It doesn't make any
Look
sense.
at your little cheeks. What the cheeky baby cheeks of the baby thigh? He's got a
Are you
little baby
pointing
thigh.
at my butt cheeks or are you pointing at my cheeks?
Are you? Since you are a sweet little baby, Monarch, and your parents, they love you very much, and I think it's beautiful that they kept all these pictures.
Because all I knew is that as a baby, I had a juicy booty. But
Hey, we're
beyond
talking
that,
weird about babies now, so why don't we go dig through your little brother's stuff?
perfect.
All right.
Mission accomplished.
Give me either perception or conceal/reveal object rolls, depending on whichever is stronger in your case.
Ooh,
Conceal / I don't think I have that.
Yeah, then just do perception. That'll do.
All right. Perception, roll on. 26.
Nice. All right.
critted.
You know how there's these archaeological layers in old stuff, and the deeper you get, the older the stuff is. The thing that draws your expert trained killer, not well, actually, according to your parents, a spree killer. We had that conversation last time. The thing that immediately attracts the Monarch's eye is an unopened package addressed to Oro. But it was one of those things where they get the wrong address and they sent it here, and it never reached his apartment, which is probably where it was intended to go. It's a very small package, and upon it's full of packing peanuts and stuff. But you open it up, and it's just some junk mail, some crap. But hidden inside of that is a little taped up, rolled. It's a roll of brown paper, something in it, wrapped up with many, many layers of tape.
All right, I'm gonna open it.
Okay. Takes a little bit of unwrapping. And inside there's another one, and you unwrap that one, and you're waiting for this to go full Matryoshka dolls. But inside you find a data chip wrapped inside in a piece of a catalog, a Continental Brands kibble catalog, with a note written on it in Sharpie.
What does the note say?
You're more right than you know. They don't have a common enemy, but they have common obstacles. This will help. It's not signed by anybody.
Does the handwriting look fancy? Does it look or does it look like like someone who works in the corporate world, or how's the handwriting?
Rushed. It was written essentially in a felt tip marker on glossy paper. So it's smeared a little bit. The letters are a little bit blocky. It's not ideal for leaving a signature. And
Natalie
there's no
says,
return address.
"Can I see that?" And would I be able to determine what issue this is from, like a time frame of when this letter would have arrived?
Yeah. What skills do you have that could apply to that? I can think of several.
Bureaucracy.
Oh, yes.
Bureaucracy would
Well,
definitely apply. Business would apply.
I'm an avid reader of all of our corporate literature, and so I would say that while the library search is something I can do, this might fall under the accounting that I typically have to do for when shipments go out and what's popular and what we're pushing, and what the marketing is all about. I would do
Great
accounting.
idea. Yeah, no, that'll work. You worked in the mailroom. You were responsible for shipping out propaganda. This probably was sent a couple of weeks after Oro dropped that video that was tearing apart Continental Brands for their ma and pa ruining ways.
What did the message say again? Sorry.
No worries. I will type it out for you as well. You're more
Oh,
right
perfect.
than you know. They don't have a common enemy, but they have common obstacles. This will help.
We should ask Beedle.
Well, about that.
you mean that action that the Monarch took that was kind of out of character and almost like the actions of somebody who was going over cyber psychosis?
I don't recall
You
any
don't
of that
recall
happening.
shooting someone in the
No.
face unprovoked?
No, but also, aren't you unconscious and on a bike somewhere?
I'm projecting like a force ghost
Just
to the
fucking off.
party.
Isn't that where you're supposed to be right now?
Just in the
It's his
back,
cyber
you know?
self. His
Yeah.
meat self is sleeping. His cyber
Okay.
self is trolling.
Let me go ahead and explain. Real fast for everyone to know why I shot Beetle.
Yeah, quickly come up with some reasoning.
I'm not gonna come up with reasoning. I'm gonna tell you the actual reason. There's no reasoning.
There's
Okay.
no reasoning.
I shot Beetle in the face because I had detected that he was clearly a part of something that was leading us into a dark path. I knew that the moment that he was down there, like this whole Johnny Silverhand nonsense was ridiculous in of itself. But just the fact that while we're doing this, so many people now, I also do not know much about Johnny Silverhand. It's not a thing that I follow because I'm not a rocker boy. Oro knew all about that. I didn't know about that. I didn't give a shit about that stuff. So from where I'm standing, this guy has led us into a death trap. So my solution was to just shoot the fucker in the face because clearly he was going to be a problem. I had no idea if he had any devices on him. And I didn't even want to look because we had no time to figure it out. We were about to be bombarded and attacked by an army of people. And
you just really wanted to shoot someone in the face.
And yes, I also had to live up to the branding. I wanted to shoot him in the face. It's not that hard.
I mean, it's a called shot. It's kind of hard.
And it was, and I nailed it.
Some might
I
say
nailed it.
that's not a good enough ethical reason to shoot somebody just because you need to live up to your branding.
Yeah, okay, but that's a golden boy thing. But the Monarch thing with everything that I just said, I didn't trust this man as far as I could throw him.
We call that
Okay?
eliminating a variable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I eliminated a variable because I did not feel like it made sense for this person who brought us down here to find some mythical creature, because that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's what Johnny Silverhand is to me. Okay? Anyway, that's where we are. It wasn't off brand. What was off brand was the fact that I tried to save everyone at the end, and then Bren just decided, no, Jerax is going to be a douchebag and try and push me down the
We're
drain.
really taking up this again?
You know, I was going to say, I feel like we have enough stuff to argue about from last episode without going 4 episodes.
We
ago.
actually have not gone this path.
I'll explain
not gone
Jerax's justification for why he acted the way he did, and it's because he has an ulterior motive, which is saving his brother. He can't sit in a cryotube for a year. Like, he's got a time constraint.
Well, that would be good to know at the time.
Why would he share it with you? We'll leave it for another episode. Huh?
You would think that the person that was trying to save everyone in that office building while you were putting pants on your head. You know what? Fuck you. Okay, that's where we are right now. I'm just on it.
We need like an Andy Cohen like weekend episode where we just like resolve our family.
We need to go to team therapy. We need to find a therapist and go to team therapy.
My character does need therapy.
Yeah, I know. I can tell.
We should get a guest star for that. We should bring someone in who's not been playing in the campaign and has no context for any of this, but is ready to roleplay a therapist.
That's a really good idea.
That would actually be peak content. We'll talk. We'll talk about that later.
Just find an actual group therapist, like hire them. Like,
okay, I don't know if we can afford that.
I'll check the network. That does Jerax's force projection actually does raise a question though. As he rests in the tube and heals bodily in meat space, would we be able to take like the Netrunner, like Tamagotchi style, with us, where he could still be?
If you soul killed him, maybe.
Oh,
soul kill me for fun.
Interesting.
Please don't soul kill me.
No, I just like figure while he's laying there motionless would be a great time to be like braining the internet. No.
I mean, you are literally, your secret base of operations is where Arasaka did experiments with Soul Killer and with trying to put soul-killed intellects back into different chassis, whether meat or metal.
It seems to make them very cold. I wasn't going to advocate fully for that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they actually figured it out. That's
So you're
sort of the
saying that
problem.
But there is a chance.
chance.
I just wanted to keep him
though,
on like a phone
right?
call or something. Like,
Please just put me in a tube and leave me there. Please.
Yeah, I'm driving him back though to put him in the tube. I have no intention of soul killing him.
Oh, you don't know how
honestly,
to put me in a tube, do you?
I'm willing to roll basic tech until I break your machine or figure it out.
No,
I'm willing to. I mean, who else is going to do it? This is the problem with the doctor frontlining.
You
Is
wait
what
for
are we
me
supposed to do?
You wait for me to regain consciousness.
No, I wouldn't do that. My character wouldn't do that because I don't know how close to death you are. I'm not a medical expert. I don't know whether you're going to
I
revive.
feel like
you might be in a
what you
coma.
do is you throw them in, and if it doesn't work, you turn it on and then off again. And then if it doesn't work, you turn
Yeah,
it
you
on
freeze
and then
me
off
to
again.
death.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I'd love to
freeze
see
me.
what Joe's going to come up with here,
Like a-
but I'm
a
gonna
doctor in your
see what we
network?
do.
that can like talk you
Yeah.
through it.
Okay, so what did the issue say? By the way, what was the issue? That Natalie you were trying to decipher.
Oh, it was just a catalog for an exciting new kibble product. Probably on one side it's the Cool Ranch maple flavor, which never
Mm.
really took off. That's the flavor, by the
shame.
way, that this entire neighborhood is being forced to eat because they refuse to embrace the Continental Brands monopoly. They're not
If
selling
you
them
put a
anything
little
else.
orange juice on it, it is tolerable.
Cool Ranch, orange juice, and maple syrup.
Orange juice.
What is wrong with
Yeah, you put the orange juice in the bowl first, and then you add the kibble.
what?
You have the
Who
most
hurt you?
disgusting ideas, Rachel.
You guys didn't watch the commercial? You put the orange juice in the bowl, and then the maple Cool Ranch in the top.
Yeah, the jingle never
No.
really took off either.
Jingle never really. No.
They play it
I don't
all the
watch
time in the
TV.
break room.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
all they
watch
did.
old movies. I just watch old movies.
On the other side of
Um,
it is a
yeah.
full page ad for the Cooking with Kibble show on Network 54.
Mm.
Huh. What was the issue month?
It
Natalie-
was shortly after your brother published that video attacking my company for some reason. So I guess
Your
it's in
former
response
company.
to that.
Former
Well,
company.
once a Continental Brands, always a Continental Brands, Joseph. I mean, they still live in my heart.
What is wrong with you?
So unsettling.
It really is. And you know what? This is how it's gonna be in like 10 years, 10, 15 years. This is how it's gonna be.
Yeah. It's also going to get a head start on the Hail Corporate Dystopia. Good, honestly. Very solid.
So they have more enemies than we know. Right?
The
Interesting.
chat does raise a good point. You called upon your neo-fascist domestic terrorism contacts for nuclear help, but you refuse to use your connections to figure out how the tube works so that I don't die. By
We haven't got
being
to the
placed into
tube yet.
Okay, sorry.
We haven't
all
got
right.
to the tube yet.
Sorry, just
I'll
my
run you through what
Force
I do with the
Ghost.
tube.
All right, sure.
Your Force Ghost is not even interacting with my brainwaves right now. I'm lumping around what I consider to be just a sack of meat, and I'm trying to revive it to life.
Sure.
Now, that does sound like cyberpsychosis.
Question.
Mhm.
So they have common obstacles. Who are the companies that are competing against Continental?
Well, let us
No
take
one
us.
can really compete.
Where is here? Okay, let's pull up the
I'm
conspiracy
gonna
board
need
real
you
quick.
to stop. I'm gonna need you to stop. All right.
By the way,
Wow,
the
when was the
record,
last time we had
Jerax,
this?
For the record, Jerax, unconsciousness only lasts for 1 minute, so you would regain consciousness in
Oh,
extreme pain on the way home.
Hmm.
that's not bad.
when the
then.
hell did we make this?
This is at the end of phase 1, right before
Yeah.
the final everything.
You remember?
No, I mean honestly, everything was a blur.
The thread was more red in between everything, but otherwise it was about this.
Okay. Continental
God,
Brands.
this is just
World's that.
confusing.
It doesn't make sense to you guys. Yeah, it's
Most
so
of this,
clear.
though, is irrelevant at this point because we were working under the assumption that we were looking for the Arasaka database. And in fact, the conspiracy appears to be utterly different because we found a bomb instead.
Well,
And
they didn't know it
we've
was a
also
bomb.
killed the majority of these people. So, well, we're just
Not royal.
assuming that they didn't know it was a bomb. I think they probably did.
Hmm.
So World
Yeah.
Set and Continental Brands are going up against each other. Am I right in understanding this?
I'll leave that
Hold
to
on a
you
second.
guys.
Natalie, what's your company?
Oh, my company now. I work for the TV station Network 54.
Network 54, and they're the ones that air this show about cooking with kibble.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite. It comes on right after Pasión Dorada. Dorada, dorada, and I look at you and I keep saying the word like white girl wrong. Doradu.
Contrary to popular belief, Natalie, not all Hispanics speak Spanish.
You've literally been speaking little bits of Spanish in your character.
Well, no, I mean,
You've just been layering it in for effect.
Okay, well, I don't know where these voices are coming from, but I will just say that I speak like little things, but I don't speak full Spanish. So like, she just tossed out a word, or either that, or I just didn't understand a word. To be fair.
You probably don't recognize the title, but you've definitely seen the show. It's about a spunky corporate worker who's climbing the ranks and doing everything she can to succeed. It's my favorite show.
Sounds like it's based on you, Natalie.
That's really flattering. Thank you.
Not in a good way, but I wonder if, okay, that aside, and you have problems, girl. Just letting you know. Keeping it real.
Thank
That's
you,
what they used to say
the
back in the
Monarch.
day.
I will take your
Keeping it real.
critique with the salt it deserves.
Yeah, and it better be at least 3 grains.
There's a few grains.
Can we? I'm telling you right now. You're just because you think you could go around killing everyone don't make. I'll shoot you in the face, Natalie, and you're a really nice girl. I don't want to do that. You see me do it. All right.
I know when you accuse me of going around killing everyone, it's out of jealousy. And for that, I say, I forgive you. And I'm going to make a welcoming space for your bruised ego. And, I have rolled a 22, by the way. So I'm also kind of like going through Ura's stuff, and it seems like I'm pretty good at it.
That is the only recent thing that Red Chrome Legion may have been looking at. But with that excellent result, I will let Alex regale you with anything else that you find before we move on to.
You will let him do that, won't you?
Correct.
What else is in this room, Alex?
I mean, top of my head, some notes I sent a girl back in the day. Kind
Oro's
of embarrassing.
Keeping Monarch's notes for some reason. It's very strange.
No. It's a family. We all store stuff here.
Keep all your love notes in one pile. That's good.
Yeah.
Efficient.
Also, there's this really, really curious box of condoms that was on the floor. Didn't quite understand why that was here, but man, we're really onto something with the condoms, weren't we, Natalie?
Which was crazy, because one thing I noticed when you mentioned that is I go down to look under the bed, and it is just wall to wall. They're condoms, but they're all the kibble flavors. I just come back up and I'm like, yeah.
This is all very concerning. All right, I'm interested. I'm curious now. You said that was Network 54 is who you work, and where is that at, Natalie?
It's a little bit north, east of here.
Huh. Interesting. All right, I want to get this data chip scanned, but I think we're going to be taking a trip to your place of business.
Oh, no. You can't
Very
go
soon.
there. You absolutely cannot come to where I work.
Well, I can get a job as a security guard.
You getting a job? Monarch, please don't come to where I work.
No, okay. I'm not like gonna show up at school and like embarrass you in front of your friends. Okay, I'm just saying we got some stuff to do. Because clearly, and he holds the chip up and he waves it. This means something. Wouldn't you want to figure it out?
Yeah, but I don't say we have to take it to my work. We have perfectly good working computers.
No, I'm not saying we're taking the chip to your work. I'm just saying we're gonna take a trip to your work because something's there. Okay, that I'm convinced. And if not, I'm gonna roll up in that place and I'm gonna kill everyone. All right, I'm gonna shoot them all, just literally massacre every single person because all these corporate jackasses bother the crap out of me.
I just keep looking at Jim at this point as Monarch gets louder
Jim
and louder.
Jim is
driving
Jerax.
I look around. I realize I've been left alone in Monarch's house. Like, where are your parents right now?
Anyway, let's go. Let's just hop on our bikes and head back over to the.
All right.
Why don't we take the?
Well, the bikes. We have the motorcycles.
Yeah, we're gonna take the motorcycles for sure.
Okay,
Yep.
so what are you doing with all these extra motorcycles? You have Jim's bike, which he left behind. You've got Babylon's bike, which is the best of the lot, but it has taken some damage. You've got a completely fresh bike, and you've got a nearly destroyed bike. That is many more bikes than there are people.
Do you think we can store these bikes at your parents' place, Monarch, until we can come back and
Are they
figure out what
coming
to do with them?
back? Or are they just like staying with somebody temporarily, or are they gone, dude?
I mean, well, I think like the community will
Mhm.
probably come in and start protecting.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's going to be like too much of a problem. And considering that we wiped like all these Red Chrome Legion people, I don't think anyone's going to be coming back anytime soon. Not in Nomad territory. So I think we'll be fine. And yeah, we could just store. We have a little shed in the back. We could just put a few of the bikes in until Jim coordinates to bring them over to us so that we can use them. Yeah, I'll just take. I guess I'll take the Babylon's bike for
Mhm.
now, and then Natalie, you're gonna take Jim's
You're gonna
bike.
take Jim's bike back. Yep.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
we'll just store the rest of them back there.
Cool. You stuff the other two in there, and you head back across the city, head across the bridge into kind of the border between old Japantown and the old med center, which is where the apartment is. You've managed to find an access point that gets you down there. It takes a few hours for everyone to return. Meanwhile, in the bunker, Jerax is barely conscious and in terrible pain, and Jim has been driving him in this little smart car until you finally arrive there. What are you going to do upon arrival?
Well, as I'm driving him over there, I'm swerving in and out of the streets, not really driving particularly responsibly. It's not my finest hour. I'm trying to rush my friend back to the area where he's gonna be healed because I'm worried about his safety, worried about whether he's gonna die. Got a little bit of guilt about shooting the first shot as well, even though I don't believe it was really my fault.
Oh, fucking hell.
But there's a little bit of internalized guilt there. But I rationalize it to myself. No, Jerax is just a dumbass. Don't worry about it. You don't nothing for you to feel guilty about. You're helping him out. You're helping him out. I'm kind of saying what I believe to be soothing things to Jerax in the back as well. I'm like, don't worry, mate. I know exactly what to do. As soon as we get back there, we're gonna throw you in that tube, turn it on, and just kind of wash you around. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
You don't need to touch it. You don't need
Shush,
to
shush,
touch
shush,
it.
shush,
I
shush,
can-
shush. Don't
I
you
can
talk.
do it.
Don't you.
I can do
I'm
it,
gonna.
please.
I take my hands off the steering wheel to pet his head and nearly crash.
You're
Oh,
gonna kill
fucking
me.
hell.
You're gonna kill me.
I'm not gonna kill you. No one's gonna kill you, Jerax. No one's gonna kill you.
me.
Shush, 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 shush. Listen, shall I sing to you?
Oh,
What's that?
please just take me to the tube.
Right, okay, all right. We'll take you to the tube, and I'm gonna try and I'm gonna roughly pick him up over my shoulder and carry him in. There's no better way. He's a big man. He's full of cyber gear and stuff. So I'm gonna haul him over my shoulder in like a fireman's carry and take him down to the bunker.
All right. Upon
Hold
arrival,
slowly. You don't like the way that you hold someone when you got them over your shoulder like in a fireman's carry. You can't really pat their head. I'm just gonna gently rub the bottom of his back and sing soothing things. Shush, shush, Jerax, don't worry about it.
I'm
We'll
going
get
to
you
go to my
sorted.
robot place. I'm going to go to my robot place.
you push your way through. On the way down, you just see lying on the ground with no arms. Let me out. Let me out. Yep. Mm. Yep.
It's so innocent.
It's a sweet little partially dismantled hellhole of a human consciousness screaming within a metal cage.
Could you
Dear
sing
little
to
hero.
Jerax? Could you sing to Jerax?
You're muted.
Oops, apologies. That's what I'm doing. I'm kind of crooning a little bit. I'm not sure you would really
Wait.
call it singing, but I'm.
No, I think everyone right now who's watching would really like it if you were, to just sing. Because think about it like this: I had to act like a 65-year-old, abuela. So I think, for the benefit of everyone, Sideshow, you should sing. You should sing to
All right.
Jerax.
Okay. Well, this is roughly how
You
it
know?
would go then. You know,
Yeah.
it's a brand new world. I'm not really sure what the lullabies and stuff would sound like, but I'm trying to remember the things that my parents would sing to me. You know, Little Jim Fingers, when I was a child, and so I'm rubbing the base of
There
his
it is.
back, just kind of
Yeah, there
patting
it
him
is.
like a little baby. I'm like
Aw.
rocking him on my shoulder as we walk up the stairs. Hush, little Jerax, don't say a word. Gonna stick you in the tube and oh fuck, I forgot the words. Or something. Rub
That
the
actually
bottom of
rhymed.
his back a little bit more. Oh, Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird, and yeah, good night. Like that, basically. That's about. And then I'm gonna kind of jiggle him a little bit because I'm worried that he's died at this point because he hasn't said anything.
Only in his dreams.
Jerax,
Yeah.
Jerax.
I'm pulling myself
Try to
into
burp him.
my mind palace.
Try to burp him.
Do you
know?
make any response though? Because I would be worried that you died at that point if you didn't say anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'd respond with take me to the tube.
Oh, it's more serious than I thought. I'll hurry up. I hurry my pace a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. I just see you carrying this grown ass man. You're just wiggling your
Yeah,
way
I'm just wiggling my way down. Short steps,
Oh.
not long steps, but lots of quick, short steps.
All right.
And once I get to the tube, I vaguely remember how to do it. And Jerax is looking the other way, and I don't really want him. I'm gonna say, all right, Jerax, remind me how to do it, but don't stress yourself out. I
Not
pretty much
this
remember how
tube.
it's done.
Is this the right tube? Isn't this the you're being locked
Oh,
away
no,
for 25 years tube?
I mean, yeah, it's the same set of tubes, but you don't have to set it to 25 years. You can set the cook time to, 3 days instead. You as a med tech would be able to do that. If he drops you in there,
Can
it might
I
still be set to 365 days.
can I plug in my cyber gear into it to set it up through cyberspace?
Well, here's the thing. You absolutely can. But you are a better med tech than you are a net runner.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's your call.
I was just thinking, like, yeah, in terms of what would be less physically exhausting. But sure,
Tell you what, roll an interface check.
You
If you succeed on this interface check, because you're still seriously injured, you're going to take a -2 on your med tech check. But if you succeed on this interface check first, then your mind is doing the work and I will rescind the penalty.
Okay, well, wish me luck because
you could also just tell me what to do.
my interface isn't very good. I'm just gonna roll.
Oh.
Okay, roll a med tech check. As you go into the system, you're still conscious of this red glowing pain signals coming from your body.
In the meantime, by the way, I've got a cloth out of my pocket, and I don't really have any water to hand, so I'm just gonna spit on it to dampen it a little bit, and I'm just rubbing it on his head to try and cool him down.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
All right. Well, as far as you can tell, the tube is correctly configured. You just need to be positioned in it, Jerax.
Okay, put me in a tube.
Which, head first or feet first?
Properly, how you've seen me do it before.
Head first.
No, not head first. Not head first.
Breech birth. I get it. All right. Okay. I'm gonna put him in the other way around. I'm gonna try and like spool him out. Feet first into it, and then I guess I just press kind of slowly on his shoulders to insert him fully into the tube.
He hits the form-fitting gel in the back.
And then is it like closing a casket, or is it like zipping up a bag? What's the?
It's a big armored door that slides back and forth on articulated limbs, so it goes. There's always a little fog cloud that pops out.
As I close it, it's like when you're when you're going on a picnic and it's not too much of a hot day, so you feel comfortable leaving your dog in the car, and they're like looking at you piningly, but you close the trunk on them, and you're like, it's all right, don't worry about it, we'll be back in a bit. Like it's that kind of feel as I just slowly close the trunk on Jerax. Don't worry, we're right here if you need anything. Don't worry. Shh, 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 shh. And I close the trunk and press the begin button.
Yeah. You turn the knob.
Begin button.
There's a little ding. You set it to
It's
extra
start.
soil mode.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And hopefully that worked.
Begin.
Can I
The begin button.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have any applicable skills. I would just trust Jerax in that moment, and I think I'd be a little bit stressed as well. So I don't think that I would. I mean, I'm not gonna double check anything. No, what the hell do I know? I'm gonna promptly feel much better about the situation. Oh, I've just realized as well that Jim Fingers has just realized that he has no idea how long Jerax set that for, like how many days or anything. So he's gonna kind of take a look at the panels and see if he can deduce what Jerax set it to, because he wants to know whether or not Jerax is going to be available for the car heist later on.
Roll basic tech. Okay. Jerax, how many days were you trying to set that to?
As long as possible so that I be fully healed.
I mean, the thing goes up to 25 years.
Okay, well, not 25 years. I mean, I'd be really healed if it was that. I mean,
Mentally healed, reborn.
I heal double my body rate every day in the tube.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, well, then I would set it for.
You set it for 3 days and administer antibiotics, which would use 1 dose of antibiotics, which are down here in this bunker. You'd be top shape in 2 days.
Yeah, I would then work with that information in mind.
So it's like 48 hours is what you attempted to set it for.
Correct.
Okay.
And with the 16, yeah, you actually nailed it. Good job.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not going to be a.
Imagine if I really
man.
beefed it and I was just in there for 25 years.
Well, you wouldn't be, because I would get you out after a few, after a
You
week
wouldn't
or
know
so.
the process.
Well, I might kill you, but I'd try and get you out. I wouldn't just leave you in there for years.
That'd be
I
pretty
feel like
cool.
There's a step in between where we could call somebody, but we'll talk.
Well,
about
yeah,
that
that's true.
Monarch when I get there.
I'd like to. What do I deduce though? Do I know that he's set it for 48 hours?
Yes, with your basic tech check. There's a whole bunch of gobbledygook about biosigns and drug administration and vital sign monitoring and stuff like that you don't understand, but it does appear that it's going to be a 2-day cycle.
Okay. Well, that's very good. That means now that while Natalie and Monarch are going around, sniffing around Oro's place like a bunch of detectives trying to get the scoop in a noir movie, I am going to head back up topside and go and try and meet somebody to run those faces through some digital recognition software. I'm going to call up some of my buddies that work in tracking down people to pay debts. I think those are the people in Red Sky City that I know have the most advanced searching for people, because when there's money on the line, you bet that people truly invest in those kind of pieces of software. So also they're not too worried about it because they go around and break people's kneecaps anyway, so the fuck do they care about ethics?
That's big brain. That is big brain. Roll an operator check for me.
There we go. 12. That's pretty poor.
All right.
It's like a bonus for knowing who to ask, right?
So here's the trick with running facial recognition in the time of the red. The main problem is that the internet is gone, right? Each city has its own localized net, and a few times a day they transmit high priority information between cities, but then they air gap it because the rabbits virus is still out there. That's why they killed the old internet. So there is no global database, which is why searching for information can be so tricky. It's also why something like the Arasaka database that everyone was supposedly looking for would be so valuable, because it would hold all sorts of information that just isn't available anymore. Everything's air gapped, everything's isolated, so on and so forth. So gone are the days where you could put somebody into a Google search or other databases, paywall databases, etc., that are available online. So the entire process of running facial recognition is way tougher than it used to be. It now relies on whatever data you can actually get, not just finding it, but actually, holding on to it and storing it somewhere. That said, you do know some people who know some people, and they're willing to help you out on this one. A couple of debt collectors, Doug the bounty hunter is going to help you out on this one. And
Good
Here's-
old Doug.
here's what you find out. These people did have files, local files in Night City. They're listed as employees of Hitachi Shipping from the days before and during the war.
Mm.
Now, if you have a business related skill or you're a local expert on Night City, you might know more about that.
Yeah, I got some local expert that I can try and go for here.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
16.
Yeah, 16's great. Here's the scoop on Hitachi Shipping. Hitachi was owned by Hanako Arasaka, the daughter of Saburo Arasaka, the head honcho of Arasaka. It was not a shell company because they actually did do some shipping stuff. The whole Fourth Corporate War started when companies were bidding over a bankrupt shipping company. So it started out as this shipping war, and then it just destroyed the world. So the daughter of the head of the Arasaka Corporation owned Hitachi Shipping.
Okay.
You also find out their names are linked to a cargo ship that went missing in the later days of the war.
They're linked to a cargo ship that went missing.
Yes, a lot of cargo ships went missing. One of the things that happened during the war as the net broke down, there was a lot of submarine sabotage, a lot of underwater mines were planted, drone attacks. Global shipping was completely destroyed, and the global navigation and GPS system was lost. There are entire freighters just loading out there at sea that were abandoned, or the crews were killed, or they couldn't come safely to shore. So there are treasure troves of supplies, goods, and information just lost on the open ocean. This ship appears to have been one of them.
Right. We said that the green pheasant logo was the specific logo of the current CEO of Arasaka back before they became the CEO, correct?
Right. That would be Hanako Arasaka.
Right, that is the daughter.
Mm-hmm. There are sort of three Arasaka factions right now. They're the one that has the largest share and is ostensibly in charge.
Okay.
So they worked for her before she took over.
Right. I'd like to I'm thinking that when something like Arasaka stops being feasible within Night City, when they ban a big corporation like that from operating in an area, that doesn't mean that all of the people who work for that corporation just disappear. I mean, some of them might, in more ways than one. They might flee, or they might be killed, or whatever by competitors, or be picked up by. But there's normally some level of skilled personnel that get acquired by other companies. There's people who have to go into hiding, but still want to use their skills later on, so word gets around in black markets that they have kind of knowledge that you wouldn't normally expect people to have. That kind of stuff. So over the course of the years, I would imagine that there are at least hints and whisperings about people that used to work for the corporation that are still in the city, whether or not they have current ties to the corporation. So I would like to get in touch with any of those that I would have knowledge of or access to.
Okay. Give me a sec because I need to pull up some specific information. The word Arasaka shows up a lot in the rulebook, I'll tell you that much. But while you do that, let's go ahead and rejoin the rest of the party. Let's see. So Monarch and Natalie, after you go through some more baby photos, go through all the kibble flavored condoms, retrieve the mysterious chip and the mysterious note, do you have any further business at the Mendron family compound? And if not, what do you do next?
Well, I'm gonna take the rest of the rockets that I had.
2 of them left.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna add that to my inventory. That's okay with you?
Mhm.
And yeah, and I think something just isn't sitting right with me. Why the hell would they send two? Why would Red Chrome Legion people show up for a data chip about Continental? Natalie, any thoughts?
I don't know. There are so many factions out there that are so insanely jealous of how successful Continental Brands has been, especially actually in the recent years where I've been working in the shipping department. Weird correlation, I know. But beyond that, I don't know. Your brother was honestly just peddling in lies, and I can see why that would attract other foul personalities like the Red Chrome Legion. So
But hold on a
this,
second, though, Natalie. Do me a solid, okay? Take your corporate mind out for a second, okay? Because people are trying to kill my family, and on top of that, us in turn. All right,
yeah.
so think about this for a minute, okay, Natalie? Why would a bunch of skinheads show up to try and take a data chip about Continental Brands and
Monarch.
some enemy? So am I right in understanding that the company you worked for worked with a neo-fascist militia group?
Correlation does not equal causation. Just because we found this very suspicious data chip with this very
Oh my God,
concerning
Natalie.
message on it in your brother's room does not mean that this is what Red Clone Legion is here for. You know, you have a huge weapons cache here. Perhaps they heard about that and they wanted to acquire your rocket launcher for themselves.
I mean, look, if you want this rocket launcher, by all means, at some point, it's going to blow one of us up. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Joe's probably going
I'll
to kill
take
me
it
now.
then.
But no, that doesn't make any sense. No one knew about the weapons cache here. I've stored that, and my family has kept that secret for a very long time.
And who would have known about this data chip then? It was buried under a pile of his laundry. Your parents didn't even seem to know it was here, and I don't think Oro did either. The only way they could know that this was here is if they spoke to the person who missent it to, I'm guessing, the wrong address, because your brother apparently hasn't lived here in, and I kick over like a wastebasket that actually resists my foot a little, years. So it's like stuck to the ground.
Come on.
That's all I can think of. If you have a quarrel with somebody here, it's whoever sent your brother this very incriminating, and I'm gonna say very misleading bit of information.
Well, it's definitely not misleading. I mean, let's be honest here. You know, all these corporations are evil. So I'm sorry. Okay,
That's
Natalie, I get
totally
it.
like your opinion, man.
They're literally trying to force people to eat kibble that tastes like crap. You know it doesn't taste good. You know
I grab
that,
you by
right?
the arm and I point you out the window to the burnt out desert, and I say, if it weren't for kibble, what would they be eating, Monarch? My company, my former company, of which I am very honored to still hold dear in my heart, feeds people. They look out for people. And
By
gosh darn
charging
it,
them money for kibble?
how do you think capitalism works?
Oh God. Okay. All right. I clearly I get it. All right. I understand. I'm just really, something doesn't make sense here. I'm gonna check around a little bit longer. Joe, is there anything left inside of here? Like any packages or anything else that may have been marked or something that I may have missed? I looked through all the different family stuff, and but I'm just trying to find if there's anything else, and maybe I missed something that
A return
Oro did.
address?
There was definitely
Well, that
no
too.
return address on that.
And there was no label who sent it.
Correct. It was deliberately sent anonymously.
All right. Can I maybe roll another perception to see if there's anything else I'm missing inside of here?
Your keen solo senses and Natalie's sharp deductive skills indicate there may be nothing else of applicability at the moment.
What about the neighbors?
Mhm.
What are they? What is their situation? Did they all like run away when the Red Chrome Legion showed up?
Some of them ran
Or
away. Some of them, like, barricaded the doors with the corrugated metal they keep around just in case. And they armed up and they got ready to cause trouble, but they were just kind of hoping that they would leave, not get involved if necessary. Some of them were ready to get involved, but then they saw that your folks were getting out alive, and they're like, "All right, cool. As long as their lives are safe and the neighbors are safe, we're not gonna, we'll rumble if we have to." But they got out, so we're just gonna lock down and try not to die.
was there any apartments or any homes that looked suspicious?
I mean, you're the
From what I can
monarch.
tell.
Everyone looks suspicious, but no, this seems to be fairly out of the blue, and it seems like they were tipped off. In fact, if you talk to Jerax more about this, Jerax can give you some context after he wakes up from cryo sleep, because this came like a stroke out of nowhere. Folks around here are used to violent booster gangs rolling through. The nomads are trying to keep the peace, but there's a lot going on in the area. They're used to this sort
Mm.
of thing. So, but normally it would be a more local gang.
Yeah, that's why none of this makes any sense. All right.
So
Well,
remember,
we're gonna
Jerax
hop
is the
on
one
the.
who tipped you off that this was happening. He might have more salient information.
Yeah, and we also have this chip. So let's go ahead and head back over to the rest of the crew at the bunker.
All right.
Maybe we
Sounds good to
can
me.
analyze the chip.
Okay. The team reunites at the bunker underneath Night City amidst the semi-flooded water table of what was once Morro Bay. Your bunker is well fortified. It's well hidden. It's got, Ichiro, let me out, hanging out there. You've got supplies to keep you, and you know that in 3 days, Jim Fingers had signed you up to rob an armored truck in exchange for a past favor. There is a paycheck involved with this. Jerax will be back in 2 days, and during this time, Natalie, you are going to need to go to work for at least one of these days that's coming up in between.
Can I go both?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go both. Todd is willing to Todd is pulling some strings to give you a flexible work schedule, but you do need to go through orientation and a couple of department meetings. So
I do so dutifully.
let's go through real quick what everybody is going to be up to for the time being. Jerax is frozen for a couple of days. The Monarch has a couple of days. I mean, maybe it might be worth it just to relax a little bit. You are injured.
I'm injured?
I see you down 7 hit points.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now, you only need 1 day of rest to get you up to 39, and if you take 2, you'll be at full health. So if you, sit back, crack open a couple of cans of Smash, just chill for a couple days, you'll be back up and fighting. Repair your armor, all that stuff.
Yeah. All right. I'll do that. Get back up to 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get repairs for Stella.
Yeah, you can repair Stella. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Does anyone here have land vehicle tech as a skill?
I don't believe so, no. A drive land vehicle, but not land vehicle tech.
Mm-hmm. None of you have the skills to repair the vehicles you are now hiding.
Ooh, but I would like to put points into it.
That you can do. That you can absolutely do.
All right, I've got 60 points right now, so I'm gonna array them in there.
Cool. So a couple of things. I know Monarch is gonna put his feet up and rest for a little bit and repair all of his gear. Jim, your contact who hooked you up and is now expecting you to pay back your favor, is Mr. Kernigan. Before the Fourth Corporate War, he worked IT for the Night City Port Authority.
Ah.
When the nuke went off and the port shut down, he grabbed as much data as he could, got to a secure location. He's sitting on a giant stockpile of shipping manifests and information like that he used to build up an empire. He's a pretty big fixer in the city. He is known for knowing where a lot of hidden caches are, whatever. He used to hire teams to go out and hit up essentials in the early days after the war. Like, okay, I happen to know there's a warehouse full of MREs, critical food supplies, clean water, medicine. And so he would sell that out after he retrieved these supplies, and that made him a big power broker in the early recovery days. Now he's moved up the food chain. He deals in rare, profitable luxuries, things that are really hard to get in the time of the Red. He Every quarter, he holds a huge night market where all the fixers come together. And at his night markets that he gathers, he sells luxury items, aero zeppelins, cryomax suits, one of a kind collectibles, that sort of thing.
Mm.
So he's a dealer in the finer things in life, and he's really, really good in terms of knowing where to get things. He's the person who hooked you up and who wants you to hit this armored truck.
Right. Well, I've got multiple things that I want to be doing over these 2 days. I'm missing 7 health, but I've no time to heal because I've got to be a busy little bee. So the first thing, just first easy point of order, is that I want to get one of the people that still owes me a favor to just very simply drive that motorbike back towards somewhere near the bunker. I'm not gonna tell them where the bunker is, but I'm gonna get them to drive it back to some rough area around here, and I'll go and collect it at a later date.
All right, you left 2 bikes behind. This person wants the wrecked one for parts.
Sure. Yep.
All
He
right.
can have that. That's a good deal as far as I'm concerned. We had no
right.
interest in it anyway.
Cool. So you now have a motor pool of 3 bikes and a car.
Yep. The other part is that I want to take the I think it was $2,000 worth of cyber gear. Yeah. So I'm going to take that with me as I go to meet Mr. Kernigan. And I'm interested in gathering not just information on the Hitachi shipping company and that cargo ship that they were specifically attached to, but I'm also interested in just getting more information from the actual cars, like the hit itself. So I'm going to go under the guise of just asking for more info on the car heist and like actually fleshing out the details and making sure that he knows that we are prepped for it and we're ready to go, and giving him, the information that he needs to feel secure that the job is going to get done, so that he doesn't think that, we just forgot about it. But I want to start transitioning the conversation a little bit into the fact that I have a bunch of cyber tech gear, and then maybe I'm looking for a little bit of extra information. That's the path in my head. We gain information from cars. We bring up the fact that we have some interesting gear that might be good for his night market, and we're not actually looking to sell it. We're looking to trade it for some extremely valuable information.
Okay. Roll a conversation check for me.
Okie dokie. $18.
You are really good at naturally steering conversations in different directions. Now, Mr. Kernigan is no stranger to this business. He's got a very strong network set up. He's got a lot of muscle. You'll meet him in a fairly upscale bar, dark, lots of neon, heavy thumping music, obvious hired muscle, and there's probably some other folks in here who are also on the payroll and being very on the lowdown about it. But he's eager to talk business about the heist first off. So we're going to start there. And this information you can disseminate amongst the whole party. So everyone's going to want to know about this.
Yep.
Because normally he would offer you a better stake in this, but you already owe him. So in exchange for services rendered, you get a 20% stake in whatever the take from this heist is. He's also willing to offer on loan an anonymous vehicle, because you're going to be hitting this armored truck. It's going to be on its way, and you're going to hit it between nomad territories. There's one point on the route that he's tracked out very carefully when it's between nomad territories, and that's when it's going to be vulnerable.
Okay.
It's going to leave Night City. It's going to head for a heavily defended compound up in the mountains. You need to stop the car, disable the tracker. It's probably got a tracker. They always have a tracker, especially when you're moving high caliber stuff. Steal the car. You're going to take it to my safe house. I'll send you the coordinates. Pull all that off. Unload the cargo. And you get 20% stake.
Okay. I mean, the first question to ask him at this point is, what are we looking at in terms of the stake? What is inside? Do we need to be then waiting for it to be peddled and fenced, or are we looking at things that have immediate market value?
My organization is going to take care of all of that. I'm going to give you what I think is a fair price on the total take. So we'll do an estimate based on how much is in the shipment. And like I said, I'll treat you right. You don't get ahead in this business by screwing people.
Sure. I understand that, Mr. Kernigan.
By screwing smart people. The contents are non-toxic.
Mm.
They are fragile. If it gets destroyed, nobody's getting paid.
Are we talking fragile in the sense that explosive? Fragile in the sense like it's eggs? What are we talking about here?
It's inert, non-toxic, non-explosive. Just be delicate with it, all right? Don't blow the damn thing up.
Don't blow the car up. Only blow the bloody doors off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. What are we looking at here in terms of defense of this? How valuable is this kind of stuff? Are we expecting extremely heavy resistance?
I imagine that the drivers are going to be armed.
Sure. But it's unlikely to have an entire convoy with it.
No. That would draw too much attention. For the numbers that they're working with, they wouldn't hire a whole convoy. They'd be more relying on speed and subtlety.
Okay. The vehicle you're giving us as well, anonymous vehicle that would be expected to be traveling in those kind of circles. Nothing that'll stand out, presumably.
Well, I mean, it's more about not being traceable, right? Like once they see you, they're going to be suspicious. I think it's more about this can't be traced back to you.
Right.
Or,
it's not an
to
anonymous nomad vehicle or anything, though. We're talking a city vehicle that they're going to recognize as soon as we get close to them.
Yeah, they're good. They might know something's up, but they won't know who's responsible, and that's really what I'm concerned about. As long as you can overtake them, I don't care if you use force. I don't care as long as they can't trace it back to you or me, and we get the goods. I'm happy.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. What timing are we looking at here? How long are we between territories? What's the window of opportunity?
20 minutes.
Okay. And do we know precise timings, or is it something where we're going to have to follow the vehicle for a long time? Like, could we just stay in one of these nomad territories and wait for them to pass? Are they easily identifiable?
You could post up in the no man's zone. You could easily post up there and hide in waiting. That would work. You could tail the thing. If it was me, I'd probably get there ahead of time, hide myself real good, and then roll out from the dirt, take them on the road. But I leave it up to you.
Yep. And what are we talking about in terms of hours from now?
Well, it's in 2 days' time, or when this meeting is occurring, and they're going to want to do this run at night. So they're probably going to be making the run between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m.
Wait, what did you just say?
So it's, again, you're having this meeting when it's still 2 days out. So next day, etc. And on the day that the armor truck will be making the run, it'll be crossing through the no man's land sometime between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m.
Okay.
So just get there ahead of time, chill, post up, and we're good.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We've dealt with situations like this before. No problem whatsoever. We should have this back to you in no problem at all. Now, talking about your, I mean, there's no further info that you can give me based on this, is there? Was that all that you wanted to talk about when it comes to the heist?
Mm-hmm.
We're all professionals. We'll get it done. Now, Koenigan, there's I hear that you know people that might be in the market for some high-tech cybertech gear. I just recently stumbled across quite a wonderful little cache of extremely old but refined equipment.
I'm listening.
This is the gear that we found. You said is basically just open to interpretation based on what other people actually wanted it to be, right? It's just
it's a $2K budget of cybertech, essentially.
Right. And is it marked as Arasaka Cybertech?
Yes.
Is that unusual?
It's rarer these days. It's definitely rarer. Arasaka doesn't make a whole lot of cybertech, so it's more likely to be stuff that was licensed out.
Right.
But this is sort of, it's not designed to be traceable in this particular case. Somebody who knows what they're looking for might be able to ID it as cybertech, as Arasaka, but it would be pretty easy to move.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna tell him then that we've got a bunch of luxury items here that I think would go over perfectly well on your night market. But you know, considering that we'd all be squared up at the end of this car heist, I'm honestly not particularly looking for monetary return on a bunch of these items. I'd be interested in just having access to some information that I believe you might be privy to from the end of the fourth corporate.
2,000 eddies worth of information? I don't know if you told him the number. If you haven't, he wouldn't respond.
No, I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have told him the exact info.
Why
but-
reveal if you're not getting anything from it?
Yeah.
All right, what's your
Yeah.
pitch?
I've recently, as part of this cybertech gear that I acquired as well, come across some interesting information about a certain cargo ship that went missing towards the end of the Fourth Corpo War, and I understand that you are the preeminent owner and distributor of such information around around Night City. I know that you like to sit on that kind of info, but for the right price, I have a specific interest in some of the stuff that you might know about.
Okay. So you hand over this high-end gear, and what exactly are you asking for in return?
So, the database that you, or the information that you gathered around that time, based on the shipping routes, cargo ships, that kind of stuff. If I provide you with a number of names, or even better, if you provide me with unfettered access to the database.
Classic Jim Fingers. Impeccable
Well,
sense of humor.
Then basically I'm looking to run a bunch of names past you and find out what happened to these people. They apparently, ostensibly, went missing with the cargo ship. That is horse shit. So I'm looking to find out what actually happened to them.
Okay. You did make a really good operator role earlier and a good conversation role earlier. You should at some point consider picking up some points in the haggle skill. I'm going to have you roll a persuasion check for the time being.
Yeah, I picked up some points in trading because I thought that was also important, but I didn't even realize
trading
haggle was a
actually,
thing.
do trading instead. And I'm going to...
I mean, persuasion's definitely better for me if I'm done.
Yeah, but I'm going to let this go further.
Okay.
Right skill, right job.
14 in trading.
Okay. All right. He will... The problem is this deal is still pretty nebulous. He doesn't know exactly what you're asking. You don't know exactly what he's asking. But he's willing to look up those names, see if it rings any bells. It might take a bit to go through all the information that he has. But tell you what, if you pull off this job, then he might open his books for you. Especially since whatever the ship, here's what's going on. He suspects whatever ship he's going to pull up is going to look innocuous, but combined with the information that you have, it's like, ship 37 Alpha, trajectory boring, cargo boring. As soon as those names pop up on the shipping roster, that ship becomes much more interesting.
Yeah.
So those two together might go somewhere. You pull off this job and make good on that, he'll open his books for you.
Okay.
And do further business.
Yeah, I'd also like to. I mean, how does haggling work in this game? Is it a trade? I think there's like a trading clash or something like that, right? That you're supposed to do. Because I'd like to also try and get the best price for this Cybertech gear based on the fact that it's rare Arasaka versions of the Cybertech gear as well.
All right, if you want to
try and sell the story as well as the gear.
Yes, that always works on Pawn Stars. So, are you trying to just get eddies for eddies here, or are you trying to haggle for the information with it? Because he's looking for the job as a door opener to paying him for the information is the deal he's currently offering.
What I'm looking for is if we complete the job, I'll give him a good price on this Cybertech gear for all of the information that I'm after.
Okay.
So he would get a cheaper than market price on the Cybertech gear in exchange for not unfettered access to the database, but all of the information provided that he has access to that's specific to my requests.
Okay, I just looked up the haggle rules. So haggling is not a separate skill. It is powered by trading. You made the right choice. And we have to do a bit of a complicated roll here. You're going to roll trading and add your operator rank to it.
Right. Do you want me to roll another trading?
No, we'll just go ahead and turn that into a 22.
Okay.
I'm going to make a roll, but I'm not going to add his numbers here. So we're going to keep that on the down low. But I will show you the dice roll, which is a 5. All right. If this ends up being the win that he thinks it is, you're going to go ahead and succeed. Your ability gives you can get 10% more on this is the deal that you can do. So instead of getting 2,000 out of this, you can get 2,200 out of it.
Okay.
So he gets it all in exchange for the information, but you walk away with that extra 200 in profit.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Contingent on pulling off the heist. Anything else?
Yeah. No, that's it. Honestly, the only stuff that I wanted from him was to sell the cybertech gear that we wanted to sell, and to get all of the information on the cargo shipping.
All right. Good enough. Natalie, it is time for you to go to work across the bay.
Will I heal while I'm working? Because I find working very relaxing.
No, you need full rest. You need like a full day's rest. And Todd is willing to give you medical leave, keep your start date flexible, etc. You have an in with him, and he has an in with HR. If you want to take 1 day to heal your body skill or your body score in damage, and then work for the other 2, that'll work fine.
I will do this thing and heal. Also, I picked up, is it repair land vehicles?
Land vehicle tech.
Land vehicle tech, and that's a tech ability?
Correct. It is keyed off of tech. So we're going to go ahead and have you go to work first, and then we'll make the roll. In a few minutes, we're going to take a break, but we're going to have you go to work first, take care of that, and then we'll hash out repairing the many, many vehicles that are in need of fixing.
Excellent.
All right. So you've been brought on board. You are fairly high ranking in the office services department, which is you are in charge of making sure that everyone there has their supplies, all the show producers have the coffee brands that they want, but you're not running coffee. You are in charge of the people who are running coffee. You're in charge of logistics and supply chain, in charge of making sure, hiring for janitorial and not security, that's a separate department, but that sort of thing. So they're going to go ahead and bring you in. Network 54 is rooted in sort of this idea. It's this weird corporate culture. It's a mix of, the entertainment industry, but the owner lives on a ranch in Santa Fe and is very much an old school family values sort of person. It's got a weird vibe to it, but everything's nice and polished. You remember Todd's office, like that's got the Todd touch to it. But definitely everything, the lobbies are all not chrome. They're not going so much for the chrome look, but very sleek, very modern. Lots of natural light, a couple of plants here and there, a couple of hollow plants in the right rooms.
Love hollow plants.
Yeah. So on your first day, they welcome you in. Todd shows up just to make sure that you have everything that you might possibly need. I have a lot of important meetings today, but if anything goes wrong, please don't hesitate to let me know.
Thank you, Todd.
What a gentleman.
Of course. So
does he have that many O's and of course?
Yes.
Public?
Yes.
Oh. So when Todd leaves, I look around and try and gauge the faces of all the other employees, like, and their reaction to Todd.
Okay. Roll a human perception check.
Oh, goodness. I do have that. There it is.
Holy smokes.
Everyone in this room is terrified of Todd. Everyone in this room is terrified of Todd. They absolutely throw their biggest smiles when he's around, and they nod and stuff, and when he leaves, their stress levels go down.
Are they terrified of me by proxy?
It's something that you could take advantage of, yes.
Noted.
They've picked up on the fact that you seem to be in his good graces, so suddenly you have lots of new best friends at work.
I love corporate friendships. Oh, they feel so sincere.
So as part of your first day of orientation, you go to a lot of meetings, you watch a lot of presentations about the history of Network 54 and the important role that it's taken throughout the entire, throughout this troubled time. Everyone relies on sharing common culture and things that we can all enjoy together. And the shows that Network 54 provides are essential to recreating a sense of community in this broken world. So here's a couple of things we like to ask all of our new hires to do. First off, what's your favorite Network 54 show and why?
Oh my gosh. It's so rough that you're making me choose. I think it's Heist on Dorada, just because the main character is so inspirational. But I really love Cooking with Kibble because I'm just such a huge Kibble fan. And by the way, I noticed since I'm in charge of purchasing for all the craft services, I think we're going to switch over to Continental Brands, and I'm really excited. I think you're going to love the flavors. I have so much to share with you all.
roll persuasion and roll business.
My persuasion is a cool stat, which means it won't go well. But business is a Natalie stat, so both can go well at all. Ooh.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. That's a
It's my
critical
first day on the
failure.
job. I'm freaking out. This is not.
You get the impression that you may have just, when you're the new person and you say something that seems totally innocuous, or you raise an interesting idea, and then everyone around is just like, oh, like they've been down this road before, and you may have touched a nerve. That's what just happened. So,
I shiver with power.
all right. Another thing that we like, and they take you on a tour of the building, they go through the email policy, and they make you watch the harassment training videos, and they, go through all the doors and all that stuff, meet all your coworkers, they show you the org chart. But since you're coming in at like not a C level, but definitely a managerial level, one of the things that we like to do to encourage creativity and ensure that Network 54 is always on the cutting edge of entertainment, in the next 7 days, we would like you to come up with a pitch for a new Network 54 show.
Oh,
And
God.
so we want to see if you can get some interesting new ideas in, bring in some fresh blood, and, there's always the chance. You get very much the idea that the chance means this crap never happens, except, for the people who just absolutely nail it or have ins at the higher rank. There's a chance your ideas could come to life on screens across the nation.
I have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How many submissions can I submit?
We're always open for new ideas. For official HR tracking purposes, we're going to need you to submit one as your onboarding pitch. But after that, our inbox is always open.
Oh, this is so exciting. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Now, what's going to be very, very important, you understand that the broadcasting industry and the entertainment industry can be fairly cutthroat, and it's difficult to make it out there. And the safety and security of our personnel is our top priority. So, as part of your new job, in addition to the con app that you've been assigned for your living quarters, we're going to give you a personal bodyguard who will be assigned to you and will follow you around and make sure you take care of them and they'll take care of you. And they're going to introduce you to your new corporate bodyguard that you get for increasing your teamwork score to 3. Tell me about this person.
Well, first of all, this person enters the room while I am mid. Yes. And so I turn around and I see them. They're a very tall and imposing and broad-shouldered masculine figure. And they have a very serious face. And they're already, scanning the room. So I straighten up and I stick my hand out and I say, "Hello, I'm Natalie. It's so nice to meet you." And they very slowly bring their hand up and shake my hand, and they introduce themselves as Jonah. It's a pleasure.
I'll be happy to take care of all your security needs. You can trust me with your very life.
You shouldn't worry about me. I'm never in danger. And then I lean around him, and I'm like, does he follow me, work hours? Or, 24/7?
Oh, no. His job is to keep you safe.
I stand back up, and I say, straight face now, "Jonah, I am so sorry."
So, Rachel, here's what I'm going to need you to do. We got to do a couple of rolls here to determine the stats and loyalty of your new hire.
You better be so loyal.
Starting loyalty. This is a moving target. Your actions, the way you treat him, what happens to him, what it's like keeping you alive. This is like I said, this can change. So, I want you to go ahead and roll 1d6, and that's going to give us Jonah's stats. And I'm not going to read them out across the entire board, but I'm going to tell you sort of the best and the worst.
All right, we got right in the middle of the road. We got 3.
Okay, so Jonah is especially fast, has a great eye. He's a crack shot, and just a very firm, resolved will. He is determined. He's got his own goals, but whatever he sets his mind to, he is going to accomplish. And nothing's going to distract him from that. Jonah is not particularly good with computers. Otherwise, perhaps a different career path might have opened up before him. He longs to be at a desk job and have a nice corner office and live the dream. But he gets really frustrated with email and Active Directory and remembering his passwords. And he's not the
Wait.
least personable person you've ever met, but you can tell that he's not the most people person either.
Doesn't matter, because when he shares his dream with me, I
Mhm.
am instantly touched, and I reach out and touch him on the upper arm, and I say, Jonah, we're gonna grow so much together.
All right, now roll
Oh
1d6,
God.
and you're off to a great start. So add 2, and this will be his starting loyalty. 1d6 plus 2.
8.
Oh! All right, you click immediately. You are 2 peas in a pod. This gigantic guy in a armored suit, like a 3-piece
course.
suit lined with armor, and the bright, cheery corporate mouthpiece, Natalie Smith. All right,
We are
so
gonna get along great, Jonah. I'm so excited.
when we come back after this break, we're going to catch up with Jerax and the Monarch. We're going to unfreeze everybody. We're going to try to put together what you've learned about the conspiracy, investigate the mysterious chip that you found in Oro's belongings, and maybe rob an armored truck while we're at it. Stick around.